Rise and shine, Value Farm family. Welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being part of the family and also loving Value Farm and also being part of the journey at Value Farm. We really appreciate you guys so much. Well, we are back today at the farm. As you can see, it's a very beautiful day. The sun has just come out. Yeah, it's super exciting to be right here on this project. For those who have really watched our videos previously, you saw this raised goat house that is in progress. So, oh my God, I'm really super excited. I know we paused a little bit because of so many things that were really happening, but we are back, and of course the project is starting again. So right here, as you can see, the flooring is being done at the moment, and this is just an update that, you know, we wanted to share with you guys, and also share with you guys the cost of building a raised goat house. I also have my co-director who is on standby, who's going to say hello to you guys and also say something to you guys, okay? You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Hi everybody, my name is Grafton, as aforementioned co-director of VF here. And I gotta tell you, even though the sun is not exactly shining, but the heat out here is real.
It's real.
And
yes.
you know, forgive the noise in the background. The guys are busy at work, continuing this project here. Yep. The cost of building this structure. So like, we actually purchased the timber you guys see up here. If I'm not mistaken, we got almost like 350 pieces to do the flooring and all the essential parts to actually get the platform up. And it was basically around 600 USD. Yeah. So roughly 1.8 million shillings, right? Now, the reason it costs that much is because of the thickness. The thickness of the wood. I'm sure you guys will probably get a closer look at that in the B-roll. Because with this type of flooring, you need the actual material to be strong. You need some flexibility. You don't want it to be too rigid, you know, but the most cost really went into building the foundation. Of course, you guys know, if you ever build a house, foundation and your roof, yes, is what's going to cost you the most money. That is true. So far we have 2 down, and of course the roofing is going to be really come up. Where we're going to actually do the more detailed breakdown. But why do we build this type of structure? We've always said this, and we shall still repeat why we make our goats really be in a raised house. It's because we don't want them to be on the ground, for the ammonia not to affect them. It will cause diseases to them. So raised building is really very good. It's very beneficial to your goats as well, so that it's also good for cleaning purposes as well. The way we've really constructed this structure, there is spacing where the waste can drop down and the cleaning is under. And of course the manure, that is also manure for you, for your farm as well. So it is really good for you as well. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, when you do this, spacing is everything. You're not building a floor for your house. You don't want tightness. In this instance, you want some space between the actual floorboards itself. The spacing we use here is actually 1/2 inch. And of course, the carpenter selected these pieces specifically so that it wouldn't be 100% uniform, because you want that spacing, but you also want it to be close enough so that the kids, even the adult goats, won't actually get their hooves stuck in. So it's built like that, you know, for that purpose. But let me just advise you guys on this, you know, guys, this modern day, information is everywhere. Yeah. Just because people are offering information doesn't mean all information is good info, right? So you might find others that tell you, keep your goats on the ground, keep them there. That's on them. But if you want to avoid your kids dying, you want to reduce your mortality rate, you truly need to consider building a raised platform. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can use the rough cuts. You can use the offcuts that you can actually get from most of these places that actually cut timber for sale. You can negotiate a better price where you can actually get the outside bark. The bark of the tree. The tree itself is a little bit more economically sound. That is true. But as long as you get your goats off the ground, that is the key. And you may also hear others tell you, you know, don't spend money on your structures. Listen, it's debatable, but from our experience, you want to have a proper infrastructure. You want to have a proper structure to protect your animals from the elements. Right? So that when you actually start getting production, you're not thinking about building while you're producing.
That is
You don't
true.
want to let the space run out on you so that you're not under pressure
of
to
building.
build another space.
Exactly.
So best to actually take your time, get your structures on the way. You know, you can start with few animals and then steadily grow.
Yes,
Okay, because what most others will tell you, forget the structure, leave them on the ground, go ahead, buy as many goats as you can, start with 100, start with 50. That's not true. Because you know something, if you go out there, you don't know anything about goats, you buy 100 goats, you spend close to 15 to 20 million, if not more, and you don't know how to take care of them, believe me, you're gonna be sorry.
Yeah.
So best that you get your structures right, you get your elevation right? You make sure that your structure's facing the right way, and that right there, come what may, dry season, rainy season,
your goats
are going to be safe and protected.
Exactly. And of course, I know most of you are like, you know, when you're starting, if you're a beginner, you know, such a structure is going to be expensive for me. Let me tell you guys, as long as you go cheap, as long as you're not prepared for the project that you're going to start, you're not going to really move further. So it's better for you to do everything right. Make sure, even if it's a small structure, but it's really good for your goats, so that you can definitely grow your stock, grow your buildings as your stock is also multiplying as well. Then also talking about the prices that we use for the timber, prices differ from where you are. Yes. Here in Luwero, the price can be what we have mentioned already, $600, but in a different area, timber may be different. So prices really differ. But this is what we've used here. And of course, we shall keep updating you guys what is really happening. Of course, we bought nails as well for this, but we shall...
nails was a total of like $35, give or take $1 or two. So it wasn't that much.
That much as well.
But again, for many of you, it might not sound like much, but believe me, for people here that are micro farmers that are just on the come up, we know that still puts a dent in your pocket. So you have to plan when you get into business. You have to have a business plan. You have to have a way for you to enter the space, right? So it's the same thing. When it comes to making this preparation, you know, you have to plan, you come up with your budget, you consult with your builders, or if you're gonna build it yourself, if you have those skills, that will save you a whole bunch of money, you know? But ultimately, you know, we're trying to build a commercial farm. We're trying to build a model farm. So for us, we have to do everything to standard.
That is true.
Because when you guys come here, you should expect to see something that will definitely help awaken something in you, to help guide you into a different direction. And that's what we're trying to accomplish at this farm. But you know what? You do what you can.
You can.
And if you can't get the raised house right now, it's okay. You know, when you are able to afford it, when your goats are able to pay for that house, you make sure you get that started.
You get that started as well. Then let's talk about labor as well. I know most people have really wanted to have such a structure, a raised structure, but the builders are a disappointment to them. Do not experiment, people. If someone is not sure about what they are going to construct, do not risk. You're going to lose lots of money. They're going to really give you budgets that are really beyond what you have. So guys, do not waste money on people that do not know what they are doing. So make sure you get someone who has experience, who has done work before, so that you don't waste a lot of money, because this is going to frustrate you. Because when the structure is not really done right, the goats start breaking their legs. It's just...
We experienced that the hard way.
Let
me tell you guys this. One of our favorite young Savannah goats here actually had an absolute contusion, like a complete fracture, where the bone actually, you know, protruded through the skin. And it was because the flooring that we used in the initial goat structure was not properly spaced. And I felt so bad that the animal suffered to the point where we actually had to, you know, put it out of its misery. But we don't want you guys to suffer that fate, right? And again, just keep that in mind when we talk about these prices. Many people are still of the mindset, you know, they want the best, but they don't want to pay for it. You know, when you're dealing in this at this level and you're trying to get quality, it's not about quantity. It's not about how many goats that you have. You know, if you're able to get yourself a pure Savannah or a pure boar, and then your neighbor have 300 goats, guess what? Your pure Savannah buck, the pure Savannah buck is actually gonna definitely do more for you than your neighbor's 300 goats. You know, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get better genetics, you're gonna get better growth rate, better food conversion. you're gonna definitely have that one leg up because you are starting with better genetics, and the better the genetics, the better the outcome, right?
Yeah, true.
So then you don't want to go cheap when it comes to where you're keeping your animals, right? Housing is equally as important as what you feed your animals, how you keep your animals, and the people caring for your animals.
I remember someone was saying about the housing that it doesn't really matter.
It matters.
That doesn't matter because, you know, even if you have a fancy house, whether what, still the animals are there. But it's in the long run, it's going to affect you. We've seen what is really happening. We've moved to different farms and seen how they are really treating their goats and what they're going through. So at least take good advice so that you can be able to make it in farming.
It's true. And the thing is, guys, what you have to keep in mind, many of these people are telling you goat farming is easy. We're going to be real. It's not easy. You have to really learn the trade. You have to really spend time understanding how to care for your goats, what your staffers are doing. The worst thing you can do is be that telephone farmer, as they title it, where you just always constantly on the phone. And then when you come to the farm, you have your actual workers telling you what to do. And it should never be that way, right? You might not be a full-time 100% farmer, but you owe it to yourself and your staff to at least educate yourself and prepare. So that way, if they give you some story about medication or about what's needed, you should actually have a basic understanding as far as what you need to do and how you need to proceed in caring for your animals. That's your responsibility as the owner. That's the actual bare minimum you should be able to do for your company.
So research is key for farm owners as well. Don't give everything to the vets as well. Learn about some medications as well, so that at least you have an idea. You may not have really studied veterinary, medicine, but at least have an idea of what you need to treat for the first aids, and also train your workers as well. Because the knowledge that you learn is what you also transfer to the workers.
True. Speaking of training your workers, guys, I have to say this, and it pains me to say this. Based on where you are, I hope you're lucky enough to actually have real vets like Dr. Nicholas that we met in Kenya. But there are a lot of fake vets out here. Okay? There are a lot of people that call themselves vets, they call themselves doctors, and realistically speaking, they literally are going on Google and then coming onto your farm and just injecting your animals with whatever. So that's why you understanding the absolute basics. If your animals are suffering from liver flux, what do you look for? What's the basic medication you're supposed to give your animals, right? What might be causing it? What the source might be? If you ask your vet a basic question about a particular illness and that vet can describe the symptom to you, you know you're dealing with a fake vet. And another thing you have to be aware of, apart from the fake vet, what's even worse are fake medication.
Oh my God.
You will spend your money thinking you're buying a real treatment, real medication for your animals. And then you will treat your animals. You think like, oh, I already vaccinated against PPO. I've already vaccinated against brucella and all these other diseases out there. And then you find out later on what you thought you vaccinated against, you were injecting your animals with standard oil and whatever else they put in there.
Whatever they put.
So you need to find a reputable dealer, a reputable pharmacist, an agro vet shop that actually have real products that you trust, okay? And then sometimes you should even get the medication even tested, because sometimes they'll be selling you medication that are expired, that are beyond the expiration date, or that are close to expiring. And so please be aware, that's also something you have to be mindful about.
That is so true. I know most people go to, like in Uganda, to Container Village. There's so many shops in there. They all sell all types of medication. Maybe
not all shops are created equally.
Exactly, and you may think maybe because of the pricing, some prices are cheaper than this one. And of course, there are some places that you go to and they hike the prices just to prove to you guys that these are their genuine medicine. You need to verify from the vets, from the people from the district as well. At least we have help from every district, especially in Uganda, that we have our DVO that can really help you and guide you. And if you really call these people, they're really helpful people as well.
Actually, they are. And I have to give ours credit, even though he was moved to a different district, we can still call on him. But then you should get to know who your district vet officers are.
True.
because at the end of the day, when it's time for you to move your animals from one district to the next, you're gonna quickly, the last thing you wanna do, you're ready to sell, the trucks are loaded, you're ready to go, and you don't know who your DVO is.
Oh my God.
And that will cost you. Because you need to have a relationship with those folks.
That is
They
true.
need to know who you are. They need to know of any outbreaks that might be taking place at your farm or in the
farm.
area, so that they can report, so that everybody else can be protected. So I think that's pretty much all I have for today on
this one
topic. Yeah?
Yes, but of course, as you can see, this is still moving on. We shall definitely come with you guys for the next phase and share with you guys what has really developed, what has really changed.
Yeah.
But the paddock is still here for the goat house that we are definitely going to have very, very soon.
Yeah.
But we shall definitely share with you guys more updates on that. So guys, this is just a simple video to show you guys the update of what has been happening, what our goat house, our raised goat house looks like. But we appreciate you guys for always following us up and also appreciating what we are doing. We are here to share everything with you guys. If you haven't already checked our social media platform, Instagram, it's Value Farm UG, and also Facebook, Value Farm, TikTok, Value Farm. Please go check behind the scenes and what we are doing at Value Farm, and even other things that, you know, we put in there for fun, for us to educate you and also inspire you guys. But tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't be selfish. Tell your friends to watch what we are providing here, our information that we are providing on the channel. And do not forget to subscribe, share, and like. Till next time,
Bye.
bye.